Yeah, you can't put a money on your health, but apparently £330 is quite close. Hi everyone and welcome back. So first of all, today, let's just check in. How are you doing? The past few days and the news about the upcoming Mounjaro price increases, the price hike it's been a lot. And I'm sure it's not just me that says it's been all over my social media feeds, it's been all over the news, it's been all over YouTube. And I know that in the last few days since the news came out about the increase, I have felt my stress levels rising. I have genuinely felt like, and it's a big thing, it's kind of out of our control, and it's felt a bit overwhelming. And I imagine that many of you have been feeling the same. So before we dive into the video, before we get into anything too heavy, let's just take a breath. Do you know, I wasn't even sure if I was going to film a video. I didn't initially think I would, but then on my last video and in my social media, and I was getting more questions from people about it and my thoughts and suggestions. So I thought, I'll put a community post out and just gauge it. Because I don't want to just be here adding to the noise and adding to the panic and adding to that overwhelming sense of dread. And so hopefully this video will offer you something a bit different, my take on it, and my support to you all as your Mounjaro bestie here on YouTube. And if you are feeling overwhelmed or anxious right now, then I am going to link in the description to this video and at the end of the video some links to some free Headspace resources that I think are really good and can really just help with when you need a moment of grounding or you need to kind of just bring that stress down a bit. So if it's helpful for anyone, do check it out. It's free. I've got no affiliation, nothing whatsoever. I just know they are good, helpful resources, and right now we might all need a little bit of help. So, no hype, no dramas. Let's just have a chat. Just in case all the news has passed you by, let's just do a quick recap. So it came out on Thursday this week, the news that Eli Lilly, who are the manufacturer of Mounjaro, have announced that from the 1st of September, the price in the UK is going up. And truth be told, this is not a small increase that they have announced. Now, if you are able to benefit from Mounjaro through the NHS, this will not affect you directly. However, if you are purchasing your Mounjaro privately for a private pharmacy prescription, like I have been this whole time, then from the 1st of September, the prices will be going up, and they are going up by a reported 170%. Which means that some of the higher dose pens could be going from around £200 up to £350 or thereabouts. I will caveat that by saying these are figures that are being suggested, and at the time that I'm filming this, none of the providers that I have used in the past have said, here is the pricing that will be in place from the 1st of September. But obviously people are worried. You hear 170%. You hear £350. And of course, like, my jaw was on the floor. Now, there are lots of suggestions about why this is happening, what's driven it. People are pointing out that actually in other countries around the world, the price of Mounjaro has been higher for longer. I'm not going to get into it all, because you know what? It's not about a win-lose situation here. I don't feel like we need to be like, wow, this country's had it hard, so now it's our turn to pay more. Like, how does that help anyone? I have been talking about my experience this whole time as a man living in the UK, paying UK prices with UK health services, UK salaries. That's my context. And there are politics behind this driving these increases. But also, like, who is surprised that Big Pharma put profit above anything else? I'm not. And honestly, the last few days have been tough to sit with. With the news breaking on Thursday, I spent all of Thursday evening speaking to friends and family who I know who are also on Mounjaro about what they understood from the news, what the options might be for them, and just listening to their feelings and just being there with their emotions. And let me tell you, there are a lot of emotions. There's the anger, there's the fear, there's the panic, there's the distress, there's the devastation. There has been a lot of shock, especially because this news came out on the 14th of August and it comes into effect from the 1st of September. So I get it. I definitely get it. And whilst I'm here today trying to bring a bit of calm and to reassure you in the best that I can, I get it. So if you felt those things, they are completely understandable and valid feelings. And like I've said, I was really hesitant to make this video because I don't want to add to that fire. I mean, there's a lot of videos out there already, and some of them have left me scratching my head, to be honest. But people are just all receiving the news at the same time, and everyone's trying to make sense of it. Everyone's trying to put their emotions across. But I know that I've watched some and come away being like, wow, I need some therapy here. But when I did check in with you and asked you if you wanted a video, the overwhelming response was yes. So here we are. And yeah, I guess thank you for trusting me to add something useful to the conversation. So the last few days, as well as dealing with a shock and trying to get my facts straight, I've also just been reflecting and trying to understand my emotions and where they've come from. Because I have been feeling very sad and very bereft at the news. And what I've realised is, like, the reason why I'm feeling like that is because I have first-hand knowledge. I know how helpful this medication, Mounjaro, has been for me in the last 13 plus months now. My personal experience of using it has shown me the benefits, not just on the scales, but in terms of my overall health, my well-being, my confidence, and how I feel about life. And even though this isn't my reality, I can't help but think, how would I have felt if this news had come out like July, August, September last year when I was just a few months into my journey? Or if it had come out in May, June time when I was trying to decide. And I honestly think, like, if the prices that are being talked about were the prices at that point, Mounjaro would have been off the table for me. And like the whole of the last year and where I am now would still be a dream and wouldn't be my reality. I'm not in that same position now that some of you will be, but I really, really empathise and I can really understand those crushing feelings that the price increases mean. Because whilst we're all talking about the price increases and about how much less affordable it's going to become, Mounjaro has never been cheap. And it's required compromises, and it's required cutbacks, and it's required really careful decision making on my part about where I put my money. Because yes, cutting back on the takeaways is easy, and that's been a positive thing. But if I had to try and find another £100, £150, £200 a month on top of what I'm already paying, like, what else can you cut back on? And here's the thing that really gets me. Because since documenting my journey on Mounjaro, since June last year up till now, I have continually been blown away by the kindness, the support, the encouragement that you have shown me on my videos, on my journey, through the comment section. But even more importantly is how many of you have commented at some point to say, my videos, sharing my journey has given you the confidence to take that step. Through my struggles and successes, it's given you the hope, it's given you the inspiration. And so knowing how many of you are benefiting from Mounjaro as a result of my little videos, and just imagining how you'll all be feeling right now. And that's why I think I've been feeling the way I have, and why this news feels devastating. And it's because for those of you who are just starting out or midway along or had planned to always be on Mounjaro long term to support your maintenance, and for those people who maybe are watching this video just about to make that first pen, just about to make your first purchase, just about to start this really exciting, scary, transformative period of your life, that price increase for many people just pushes it further away, pushes it out of reality. Yeah, and I feel that really deeply. I definitely just feel that and empathize a lot. Right. However, I don't just want this to be another talking out, expressing how bad things are, leaving you feeling worse than when I found you. So I have done some real thinking, and I'm going to share, if it's okay with you, some do's and don'ts that I think might help some of you make sense of and to navigate the next few weeks. So let's get into them. Number 1, do check your emails. And I know that some people are really bad at checking their emails. My husband Dave is the worst, whereas I'm like inbox 0. But yeah, check your emails. Keep on top of communication from your provider about what they are doing and what they are offering and advising around Mounjaro supplies, ordering, prices, and all of those things. Because as much as we can all be sharing information, actually, I've seen misinformation this morning. I've seen wrong information given. And I think the best thing is to go as close to the source to get your information. So I would say, look at your emails, see what they're saying. I've had emails in the last 48 hours from Zava, who I've been using for the longest time with my Mounjaro ordering. I've also had emails from MedExpress, and I've had emails from other providers. They're all generally saying the same things. They're explaining where this has come from, what they're doing right now to work things through. They have also said, because of this sudden surge in demand and because of that deadline, they are maybe putting some measures in place to stop people from panic buying too much, and to make sure there is supply for people. But the best thing to do is check your emails, and if you haven't got anything, go to that website, look at your provider, see what they are saying. Number 2, try your best to not let the noise overwhelm you. The reality is that social media and YouTube are sensationalized and dramatic by design. That's what gets the clicks. And you know that on TikTok and on YouTube and on Instagram, people are going to be expressing their feelings, but they are also going to be making it the biggest headlines they can. Because the more people that click, the more money YouTube, TikTok or Instagram is going to pay people. So I would really encourage you and remind you, apply your own filter. Take your own perspective on these things. It's perfectly okay. I keep saying it's perfectly okay to feel angry and to feel pissed off. But that's your feelings. Don't let somebody else give you those feelings that you have to feel. Number 3. Do honestly consider your own circumstances. Just because other people are talking about panic buying or stocking up or buying pens from every provider they can doesn't mean that's the right thing for you, for a number of reasons, including where you are in your journey, what your long-term plan was before this announcement, before the last 48 hours, as well as what your financial capacity might be. Now of course, if you know you are going to be ordering at least one more Mounjaro pen some point in the next month, and if you can get that ordered and pay the prices that you pay now, I feel like that's a sensible thing to do. Because, it's like with holidays, of which, I love a holiday. I know when the sales are. I know when I want to pay for it. Why would I pay for the holiday that's going to be double the price if I can afford to do it sooner? It is the same with the Mounjaro pens, in my opinion. If you are going to need to order a pen in the near future, and if you can, get your order in. But there is a caveat to that, which is number 4. Please do not let the panic drive you to making bad choices for yourself. And I mean here especially financial choices. Like, I think it's really important that nobody feels pressured to panic buy or to spend money that they don't have just because they think that's what everyone else is doing. Everyone's circumstances are different here, and we all have to prioritise what we can. Oh, God. Now, a very practical tip for number 5. Do think about ordering your next pen whenever you come to order it in a higher dose, if you are comfortable with things like microdosing or split dosing, for example. Now, I've talked about microdosing and my experience of it before. I've made a video about it. But do you know what? If you are not familiar, or if you just need some very clear information about microdosing, split dosing, how it works, I'm going to direct you to Gordon. Because Gordon, whose channel Old Fat Climber, it feels wrong to say that, but that is the title. He makes videos that are very different to mine, but he gives really clear information and gives very easy to follow guidance around split dosing. He's even invested and created a calculator, an app to support people with it. So I will link in the description and at the end of this video to Gordon's video. And yeah, if it was me right now thinking, what should I order next, and knowing that prices are coming, and thinking, well, I have been on 5 milligrams for the longest time and it's working well, I don't really want to go up, that's cool. Like, you don't need to go up the dose. But if you get the higher dose pen and then give yourself the dose that you want to be getting, you're going to stretch that pen out for a bit longer, you're going to spend the cost out for a bit longer. It's going to give you a bit more breathing room to figure out what happens after the 1st of September. And I know that is not for some people. Some people are like, no, I do my click every 7 days, full dose, done. Fine. I'm not going to convince you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying I would recommend really considering it, looking into it if you haven't until now. My next helpful tip, number 6, watch out for people trying to exploit you at a moment when you feel vulnerable. Now, this is a tricky one because it's a tricky time. And who doesn't want to be searching for the right answer and the right thing to do for them? But I really don't think now is the time to be signing up to private memberships, ebooks, or any of that stuff when you're trying to figure out what your next pen might look like and how much it's going to cost. You don't need to pay somebody else anything to be able to get that information. At the same time, and this is something that only dawned on me when I was really thinking about this, because it's just not in my radar. Like, I really hope and would implore people to carry on getting your Mounjaro, if that's what you're going to do, from registered pharmacies. At a point when you might be feeling desperate, might be feeling vulnerable, money is a key factor in all of this, and then along comes Chardonnay, your friend of a friend who works in a salon, and says, oh, I've got somebody who can get it for you on the cheap. Just don't do it. No, don't do it. You know, how many times in the last year have we seen stories? How many times has there been someone on This Morning or Loose Women or whatever chat show you like to watch talking about how they got it from a friend of a friend, or they got it through a sign-up WhatsApp service and it came in the post in a jiffy bag, and like, I can really see there's going to be a lot more push from people who are happy to sell you that stuff, and it's going to maybe seem appealing, and they're going to try and convince you, yeah, it's fine, it's the same stuff. If it's the same stuff, it needs to be coming from a registered pharmacy, it needs to be handled safely, you need to be sure that what you're getting is what you are paying for, and you are not getting that through these other back alley channels. Do's and don'ts number 7, do be open to and consider whether switching your GLP-1 from Mounjaro to Wegovy / Ozempic might be the next path for you. That is not me saying you should go and do it. That is not my place. But knowing that those are the two GLP-1 medications available to us in the UK that are supporting people with their weight loss, and if one of them is suddenly becoming unaffordable or unavailable, and understanding that in lots of ways they are very, very similar, I would say consider it. Just consider it. And I'm willing to bet over the next few months we are going to hear a lot less people saying my Mounjaro journey as they make that switch and start sharing their Wegovy journey. If you don't know what Wegovy is and what Ozempic is, there's information out there about that. Again, I will link to it if I can find anything that's really easy to follow. That's my prediction. I think a lot of people who had planned to stay on Mounjaro for the near or long-term future with those prices might then consider switching over. And the last tip, or the last do in this section from me, is do look after your mental and emotional health. This news is heavy, it's come as a shock, and as I've said, it's felt quite overwhelming. So do be kind to yourselves. Do use resources like Headspace if you need to. Do talk to friends and family, and if you can't talk to friends and family, talk in the comment sections on the channels that you trust and you feel comfortable with. And also just remember, your success, your progress, your worth are not defined by this announcement. So what does it all mean for me? Well, I'll be honest, and I am not gloating or being smug in any way, and I really don't want to come across like that, but the timing of this announcement doesn't affect me directly in the same way that it will direct so many of you and so many of my friends and family. I feel incredibly lucky and grateful that I've been able to benefit from this drug and have had the positive effects from it since June 2024. So again, 14 months now. And the difference that it's made to my health and my life has been incredible. Just to give you a quick update, as of today, I've weighed in this morning, and I now weigh in at 13 stone and 12 pounds, which is the lightest that I've weighed in more than 10 years. So I now weigh 194 pounds. And my goal that I've been working towards is 180 pounds. So I am now exactly 1 stone or 14 pounds away from that goal. That also means that I have lost 132 pounds, or just about 9.5 stone since the end of June when I first started with Mounjaro. And I couldn't be happier with how things have gone. And I couldn't be happier with how my health and my fitness is today. So for me, I'm already at the point of planning my next steps. And I was planning to cover this more in other videos I was working towards over the next few weeks. But for me, my Mounjaro journey I've chosen is coming to an end. I have 2 15mg pens in the fridge. I haven't had ordered those in the last few days. I've not ordered any pens now for more than a month. And I am slowly tapering off Mounjaro. I'm working towards a stage where I can try and maintain my weight loss and maintain my health and my fitness through my habits, through my routine, through my mindset, and through all the support that you and my friends and family give me. So I am not planning on ordering any more pens, and so this announcement and this price hike doesn't impact me in exactly the same way that it would have. It does mean, because in the back of my head I've always had that if I needed to go back on it in the future I would, and it does mean that that now is less of an easy pill to swallow, or but yeah, hopefully that won't be needed. So I will film videos talking about my plan, my approach in more detail, and my fears, because I think a lot of this price increase and what it means isn't just that people can't get the drugs because that's what they wanted to do, but it's the fear of weight regain. That certainly is my concern, even with my planned tapering off. You hear the studies and you get the attitudes from people that say, oh yeah, if you stop, you gain it all back. And I kind of think, well, isn't that the same for like any diet plan or anything? If you haven't built those habits, where there is a risk that you will fall back into your old ways. I hope so. My plan is to show myself and show all of you that it is possible to lose weight and then maintain it without. I know people have very different opinions on that, and that isn't the point of this video. So we'll get onto that in a future video. But on a related point, I do just want to be really, really clear about something, because I've heard it a few times in the last few days. There is nothing in Mounjaro itself as a drug that is addictive, or that stopping cold turkey is going to cause you any actual physical problems. So my planned approach with tapering is using my supply to slowly wean myself off, so that I can check for myself and test myself and make sure that I am doing the right things to support me in the way that I want to. There is no medical reason. The manufacturers say it, the providers, the pharmacies and providers say it. You can just stop. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, because I've heard different people saying different things, and I've been like, what might feel like the best human approach and what is actually the best and what is actually needed are two different things. God, I think this is going to be another long ranty video. I'm sorry. But before I wrap up, I just want to leave you with some final thoughts and reflections. So firstly, whatever you are feeling right now, if that's anger, sadness, frustration, guilt, it's all valid. None of this is straightforward. It's okay to sit with those emotions. Second, also, if you have found useful information or budgeting tips or anything that you want to share, please do leave it in the comment to help other people. Even if it's just a mindset thing of how you are staying well with all of this, share it, because you don't know who else might be reading those comments who might really need what you've got to offer. So please. And finally, I know that this might feel like a setback, but it is not the end of my journey, and it is not the end of yours either. The Mounjaro price increase might change the path that you take in whatever way, but it doesn't erase all the steps behind you and all the progress you have made, and it doesn't mean you're back to square one. So I hope this video has been helpful. I really, really do hope this video has been helpful. I hope that it's not left you feeling panicked or overwhelmed, and hopefully just some of those suggestions, tips, things to think about might be useful. I think if there was ever a video that I wanted to land in the right way, this is it. So fingers crossed, I guess. And yeah, in the coming weeks, I'll be sharing more of my personal experience as I navigate the next step for me. And I will continue to share videos, whatever that looks like. Hopefully ongoing successes. But if there's setbacks, if there's things that I learn along the way, you know that I will share them with you on this channel. So let me leave you with this. You are not alone. We're all out here trying to figure out the right path and the right answers for us. And that may be different to what's right for you. Please take care of yourselves. Feel okay about the choices you have made. Feel positive about where you are in life. And don't forget to check out the resources and the links if they're going to be helpful for you. And I will see you again back here soon with another video. Okay, bye.